Right, we're just about to go fishing in this beautiful pond. I can't wait to get in. Peter, who we're with, he's already caught some snakeheads, some barbs, what looks like a juvenile paradise fish, some panchaks. And the invertebrate life is so rich. There's fly larvae, shrimp, and obviously that's making up the whole food web in this lake. There could be any number of species in here. We're just going to dip in. And you see all the aquatic plants as well. There's what looks like a Ludwigia poking out. There's Salvinia natans. There's the introduced water hyacinth. There's some water lilies, and I'll see what else I can get. But this pond is so teeming with fish that just by filling the tank up with water, I caught a fish. You can't help but notice the plant life in this lake. It's everywhere. It's a massive part of the ecosystem because all the small fish are there. There's loads of shrimp, loads of insect larvae, there's even crabs, frogs and their tadpoles. Obviously it's providing a lot of food, but it's also helping to keep the water clear, and because of the clear water you get in lovely kind of open areas out there where you can see the fish swimming around, and it's stopping it going green and algified, etc. So starting with this one, there's quite a lot of these out there. This is a tropical water lily, Nymphia species. Lots and lots of these around, and these are obviously providing a lot of shade. You can actually get these in the UK. They're not as uncommon as you might think. You can get them from specialist plant nurseries like Tropica, Aquadistry. They'll be down as Nymphia lotus or Nymphia zenkeri or Nymphia stellata. You can also get them if your aquatic shop orders direct from most big plant suppliers, or especially a plant supplier in Singapore called Aquarium Liberty. I used to get Nymphia zenkeri from their stellata, which is the red one, and I used to get a nice one called Purple Panama Pacific, which had a leaf just like that. Really nice tropical flower on these as well. So that's the first one, large lilies. There's a lily flower. Whether or not it's off this one, I don't think it is. I think it's a smaller species. The flower buds on this one, the first one that I showed you, are quite a bit bigger. Very nice, just took that from the margins. You got the ubiquitous and invasive water hyacinth. Not native, I believe, but doing very well. Of course, in these conditions they just flower all the time. Thick beds of them. Other floating plants are Salvinia natans, again quite common in the hobby, easy to get hold of, good for helping to block out excess light and soaking up nutrients. Good plant fry nursery as well with the leaves underneath. A few more lilies, this one with flowers, quite nice. Something similar in UK ponds called Nymphoides peltata. This could be a Nymphoides species, I'm not sure without looking it up, but you can see the white flower and the roots. Some of them floating, some of them rooted, again just in dense mats. So those are most of the floaters. There's a little bit of a zola out there as well, which is they call it fairy moss. You can get that for UK ponds as well. Whether or not that one's native, I'd have to find out. And then under the water, you got this one. Without looking at the books, that looks like a Potamogeton, and that sends out surface flowers and an immersed leaf. These are the submersed leaves. These are like the aquatic underwater leaves, but you get a small floating, almost like a Potamogeton leaf at the surface. So that's the underwater version of that. Looks quite nice in the sunlight. It's actually quite red. There's this one, I found this in the margins. It's got two types of leaf structure. It's got like an Amazon sword type leaf, that spade shaped leaf, and it's got underwater what looks like a kind of a vallis leaf, but it sticks out of the water and it's quite rigid, and it's almost like a kind of a reed or an acorus leaf, but it's all coming from the same plant. This one flowers as well. Now this one I think is an Potamogeton. Aquatic plant, looks a bit like a lodia. The locals told me this one's called Hydrilla, which we featured in the magazines a couple of times. This is very similar to a Lodia and a Geria. This is what we'd commonly term oxygenating plant or weed. There's not too much of that in the lake. There's much more of this other plant I'm going to show you. This one, Ceratophyllum, possibly Demersum. We know it's hornwort. Whether or not the hornwort in the UK is different because of the temperature difference, I couldn't tell you. This is the main underwater plant in the lake. Absolutely thick with it, acres and acres and acres of it, and all the killifish are in amongst it, all the small barbs, any frogs are sitting on it, snakeheads are sitting amongst it. And then through the floating stuff we got this one. I found this one at the rice paddy habitat the other day as well. Classic stem plant, whether it's a Bacopa or a Ludwigia. Couldn't tell you, I'm going to find out with that one. There's some more of something that I found in the margins. It looks like the Potamogeton again, but when it dries out in the margins, I've actually found a rigid immersed version which looks again almost like a cross between a kind of a Sagittaria and a sword plant. So that's it, 7 or 8 aquatic plants. We're going to photograph them for you, and we'll show you some pictures of the main habitat as well. So hopefully if you want to try this habitat at home, you'll know what plants to get. Pretty cool. Well, I'm just going to take a few minutes just to show you these fish before we put them back. We're here at the side of this tropical lake that we've been fishing. Very quickly we caught loads of fish. These panchaks, we think they might be called dei, Aplocalyctis dei, which is like a Sri Lankan endemic panchaks. They're the main shallow water fish. They're the main fish that we catch so easily, and we catch first because they're just at the surface amongst the vegetation, and they're not too savvy when it comes to a big net coming up to them. And we've got lots of frogs in the lake. You can hear them especially. This one's going to jump off in a minute. Not fishy and not one to keep in the tank really, but just representative of the kind of habitat. It's just so marshy. There's frogs everywhere. We've got shrimp, at least 2 different types of shrimp, both of them fairly clear, but one of them looks like it's got a really long thin red nose, so that would have definite appeal in the aquarium hobby. And whether or not it's the red-nosed shrimp that's already in the hobby, I'd have to find out. We got some cool little barbs. They're not very colourful, but they're nice and small, kind of checker barb size perhaps. They've just got a small spot in the dorsal. We photographed one earlier. Hopefully it was a male. It had more of a kind of a golden sheen on it. I don't think it's a very big species. I think they're fully grown around 2.5 centimetres. Again, I'm going to check out what species they are. We've got some really cool little paradise fish, stroke anabantoids. We think they're a type of spike-tail paradise fish. Again, they're just sat really high up in the water, right under the surface, right amongst the salvinia and the roots, and we just scooped them out. Couldn't even see them, just did a random scoop and grabbed those. I went out into clear water earlier, and I was chasing some big fish. They turned out to be introduced tilapia, Oreochromis niloticus, so I haven't bothered with those. We can't catch them anyway, and they're not native to this lake. They're introduced. But while I was out there, I found a weird fish, only a tiny little nondescript fish. It looked from above the water to be like a small rasbora, but now that I've got it in the tank, I'm really not sure what it is at all. Not even what family it is. It could be anything. It could be a small cyprinid. It could be, I mean, it almost looks like a kind of like a secondary freshwater fish, almost like one of the smaller rainbow fish species, but I couldn't tell you. I'm going to check with the expert. But my favourite catch of the day are these snakeheads. We caught 3 or 4. They keep jumping out of the tank and escaping, but I'll see if I can bring that one to the front. Really, really cool. Again, absolutely packed into this lake. They're everywhere. They're just sat in the margins waiting to polish off all these shrimp, all these little barbs, all these little panchaks, perhaps the odd tadpole as well. There's plenty of tadpoles in there. And again, it's not a case of seeing one and pursuing it. You just do a random stab with a big net into the water, pick up loads of floating plants, and they just fall out of it. So that's pretty cool. Not too colourful, but they've got the classic snakehead shape, Channa species, obviously. I spoke to one of the local fishermen. He doesn't speak much English, and I certainly don't speak Ceylonese, so he just kind of gestured that it gets to about that size. So what, 8-10 inches? So that's a possible for the larger oddball aquarium, and obviously representative of this habitat. Haven't found any catfish yet, haven't found any loaches, no gobies. There's a crab, lots of crabs in there. We've got one of those in there. Masses and masses of freshwater invertebrates and shrimp. What else have we got in there? I think that's about it. So we've got panchaks, we've got barbs, we've got snakeheads, we've got the spike-tailed paradise fish, and we've got this one that I don't know what it is. So not a bad day's fishing. Great habitat, great to set up at home, really easy. All you're going to need is warm, shallow, still water, loads of vegetation, loads of floating plants. Just get it really choked up with weeds. Don't forget the snakeheads and the spike-tailed paradise fish are air breathers anyway, so that's going to be perfect for them. You're going to have your panchaks along the top, your small barbs in the middle, your shrimp all over the place. Unfortunately, you can't mix the snakeheads with the small fish, so it's either or, because they're just going to start eating them. But yeah, great little biotope. I'm really glad to be a part of it, and we're going to show it you in the magazine. I'm going to perhaps do a step-by-step once we're back into the UK as well, showing how to set it up. So yeah, excellent, really good day.